Hi! So I got some new stuff to read to you guys. But, bear with me as I clean my lens. Sorry, I guess I should have did this first. Alright, so anyway, with the last video about the house story, since that video, I I wrote the first part for it, and it's 2 parts, I believe, so this might be like a 2-part video. So I'm gonna stop talking and just start reading. Alright. There. That's fine. Hey. On top of a desolate hill stands a desolate house. Vacant, it's unused. But it didn't start out that way. Everything made has history, and before the house became unused, you have to know how it came to be that way. You see, there was a time when there wasn't a house on that hill. There used to be a family of 5. The Wrinklebaums, a mother, a father, grandparents, and a daughter. They needed a place to stay, but they didn't like to be around other people. So the father saw the hill. He thought how great it'd be to have a house there. He knew that it would take time to have the house built, and that they may either live within the quaint town, or they could stay in the little cramped box of the house they had. But he wanted to oversee the construction of the house. So with that, he talked it over with his family. They all bickered amongst themselves, thinking of ways to not live in the town, but the words fell on deaf ears. Their persuasion didn't work. In short time, he talked to some contractors. After some key details about how the house is to be built, the contractors went underway and started building. Unfortunately for the fearsome fivesome, they had to live in the town while their house was being built. Of course they hated it. Being around all those nice, kind people, it sickened all of them. They're not used to being around other people, and other people aren't used to having them around either. There's a reason why they're dubbed the fearsome fivesome. Alright, so that's the end of the first poem for chapter 1. So now it gets into the second poem for chapter 1, which is about the fearsome fivesome and why they are called that. So this was really fun to write because, you know, I was basically describing the characters, and I think it's pretty funny. And since this story is written for kids, I was hoping that they would think it's funny too. Hopefully, anyway. Alright. Chapstick. Fuck. The mother is tall and lanky. Her nose stretches out like a finger, and her hair looks like shredded tires. But worst of all is her parrot-like voice and her bad temper, which is the family's trademark. Not to mention, she treats people in a nasty manner. She's very snobby. She doesn't even whisper when she gossips. She'll talk rudely about her neighbors as if they can't hear her squawking. She has no empathy. She thinks it's practically a disease. Imagine how she treats her own mother. The father, however, is short and plump, very small facial features, with beady eyes that glare, and nostrils that are always outstretched. He's also a Mr. Fix-It when he feels like it. Otherwise, he's very lazy, and very mean-spirited to other people. He hates kids with a passion. He'll wander around the streets terrorizing the neighborhood children just for fun, sometimes even throwing pebbles at them when they walk by. When they walk by his hiding spot, that is either in a bush or when he's hiding behind a big tree, waiting for a child unaware about what awaits for them. Needless to say, he's an asshole. Alright. The daughter takes after her parents. You've heard the best of both? Well, she's the worst of both. She's taller than the dad, but just as plump as him. She shares in the family's bad manners. Yeah, you could say she's a little terror in training at just 12 years old. She's god-awful to the elderly. I suppose she takes after her mother, purposely flattening a tire if someone's hover around, stomping on gardens, walking on lawns when there's a keep off grass sign. She'll wake at the crack of dawn, making all sorts of sounds, banging trash can lids together, dumping over trash bins in a neighbor's yard. When she pulls pranks on them, her favorite is when she burns a bag of dog poop on their porch, leaving an awful stench. So that's incomplete. I have to write about the grandparents now, which are a disgruntled pair. And I made a list of how the grandparents are to be, and I just have to put it in the poem. So I haven't done that yet. So that's it for that one.